Racial violence in America. In Texas, testimony begins against a white man on trial for the dragging murder of a black man, while in California, 5 white men are sentenced for breaking the neck of a black Marine. A 401k wake-up call tonight, why ignoring your retirement savings plan could cost you a fortune. And the story of a shattered young body and the powerful spirit inside.
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. 2 criminal trials today, 1,000 miles apart, brought home a single message. For all the progress of the last few decades, and there has been considerable, racial hate is still alive in America, and it can kill, maim, and tear people apart. In Texas, prosecutors painted an ugly picture of racism at the trial of a man accused of a hate crime. He is one of 3 white men charged with murder for tying a black man to the back of a pickup truck and dragging him to death. CBS's Bob McNamara is covering the trial, the tension, and the heartbreak in Jasper, Texas.
Today, prosecutors added more evidence to their portrayal of John William King as a hate-filled racist killer, with photos of how from head to toe King's body was a canvas for neo-Nazi and white supremacist tattoos. Then with King's one-time girlfriend, Keisha Adkins, on the stand, Adkins said she was with King just hours before 49-year-old James Byrd Jr. was murdered last June. She saw King drive off in the pickup used to drag Byrd to his death that night with the 2 other accused killers, Sean Berry and Russell Brewer. Today, too, the sideshow police feared finally arrived.
Lynching black brothers and sisters in America is as common in this country as apple and cherry pie.
After negotiations with police and promises not to disrupt the trial, militant Black Panther and Muslim leaders from Houston were allowed into the courtroom to observe the trial. They listened for an hour and brought out a warning.
If they're found not guilty by some delusionary jury, I pray that we give them hell from the womb to the tomb, from the cradle to the damn grave.
The clamor for the spotlight by others has been shunned by James Byrd's family.
We're really looking at what's going on inside the courtroom. That is where justice will be served and not outside on the streets.
With a murder case building against him each day, John William King's attorney says his client is not optimistic.
There's a very, very good possibility he could get the death penalty.
In the meantime, a cemetery fence that for decades divided the graves of whites from those of blacks in Jasper has finally been removed. A symbolic gesture that could have come without the cost of a man's life. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Jasper, Texas.
In San Diego, California, 5 white men were sentenced for the savage beating of a black U.S. Marine. They will serve 1 to 9 years in prison. The victim will spend his life in a wheelchair. CBS's Bill Whitaker reports.
21-year-old Carlos Colbert, paralyzed from the neck down, faced his attackers in a San Diego courtroom today. 5 young white men who beat him savagely, broke his neck because, one of them said, Colbert is a black man. At their sentencing today, Colbert's mother was inconsolable.